Oh, hello. Hi, everyone.
Hello.
Hello.
Man, I can't not dance to that music every time. Just
It
like,
is.
it's so chill.
It keeps being my audio's clipping. Whose audio's clipping? Let me know. Could be mine.
Yeah, if you couldn't hear me before, though that's not a problem, I guess.
I,
Not,
I, I
not
didn't have
important.
audio problems just before I came onto stream at all, so it could as well be me. Just saying.
Oh man. Great live stream, everyone. This will be lovely. Here we go.
Yeah, we're back here for the Home Assistant release of 2026.4, actually. And thanks for joining tonight. And we have a few guests, as you can see. So shall we start with a round of introductions just to make it light and so everybody is like there and not awkward and whatnot and whatever not?
Sure.
Okay with it? Okay, let me start
Yeah.
then. All right. Hi, I'm Frank, and I'm the lead of the Home Assistant project, working for the Open Home Foundation. And here tonight to talk to you about the release notes I generally put out every month.
Oh, I'll go next. Yeah, I'll go next first. Yeah, and then we'll go to Paul below me. So, hi, I'm Missy. I am the community manager at the Open Home Foundation, also known as your head of shitposting. You get Paul's turn.
Hi, I'm Paul. I work for the Open Foundation as a front-end developer, and I mostly work on the dashboard on the Home Assistant app. And I'm also the developer of the Mushroom Custom Cloud. Yeah.
Yes, that's actually an important mention.
Hey,
this guy below there.
Hey, hello. I'm Abilio. I'm from the core team, also working on the core on the Open Home Foundation.
Right, hey everyone. My name is Niels. I'm a product manager at Open Home Foundation. I work on the automations and intelligence domain, which means I'm responsible for everything automations and intelligence, which is everything AI related in Home Assistant.
Yeah. Thank you for both and all three of you, all four of you, everybody, by the way, to join. But Niels and Abilio, it's their first time here on the stream, which I appreciate it. It's nice to see them. It's exciting. It is. And they have some exciting things to share as well. So that's why they are here. But we'll get into that a bit. We have quite a loaded release this month, I'm going to say. There's a lot to share, a lot to show. There's a lot to talk about and a lot to demo live. So that's going to be fun. With that said, like, I don't know, Missy, do you have like a big favorite you want to spoil already right off the bat?
Oh, I do. I actually do. And I feel like we missed it in the release notes because I don't know. It's so massive that we actually did this. I can't believe we missed it, guys. Look at our new design. I can't believe these design tweaks that we actually went in. And honestly, my favorite part here, we got our little casita. She's helpful. She'll walk you through everything. There are two types of people, those who back up and those who will. I was the second person in that one, just so you know. She also goes through and tells you a few other little hints. Super helpful. Actually won't do anything for you, much like a familiar friend that you might have known from Windows back in the day. But one of my favorite aspects of this is something that is, oh, fuck. Guys. Oh no.
Perfect.
That's just
perfect.
Oh
man. I can't. I can't. It's too great. This is the Home Assistant 95, everybody. This is actually something. No notepad included. Paul, get on that. I'm gonna put a request in on your repo. Paul actually designed this for us. It is a hacks project. It's also broken. You can see there's some things that don't work sometimes. But it is honestly one of the most fun things we've made. But it is called Home Assistant 95. You can install it on Hacks itself. It's very fun. One of my favorite aspects of it is that you can actually control both the assistant and the theme. I'm going to make sure that all the bug shots next week have this theme, just like snowflakes. Like, it's everybody. It is very much a battle right now. Either people really love it or they are telling me it is the ugliest thing they have ever seen. And that just brings me joy to just like annoy you. Absolutely. So no, this is a lot of great work on Paul's side, but it's can it run Doom? Oh, I haven't tried it in the Windows 95 version, but man, that's a full ass throwback.
This is hilarious, Paul. And you see, this is cool.
Great. Yeah, no, I absolutely love it. We went through and made a lot of things. The coloring is absolutely perfect. Like, you cannot get this teal any other way, guys. It's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. So I'll ignore my Zoom problems here. That's not Home Assistant. That's my problem.
That's really nice. I initially thought it was just like a screenshot or a presentation, but no, it's really
A real
Yeah.
thing.
It's a theme.
a real
The
thing.
full theme.
Nice.
It is the full theme. So yeah, you can install it through Hacks. It's on Paul's personal stuff for he uploaded it in there. HA95, really easy to find, honestly. But it's yeah, actually, someone called out here. They missed it. They missed what I did here. We do have blue screen of death, guys. It is in here. It is. Once I found it, it was the funniest thing. I actually, I just couldn't. It's really easy to get out of, though. It's just a little screen. Don't worry. We didn't fully break things. Maybe. I don't know.
If you like to try it, I've just put in the link into chat. It does require you to use the Hacks, the Home Assistant community store, and then you can install it from Paul's repositories and play around with it. Yeah, happy April Fools, I would say. This is an awkward release in a way, right? It's April 1st. Like,
Yep. I
and a
love that,
release.
though. Like, that made it really easy for me to actually go through and make sure this was done ready for April release with Paul. So it is honestly, like, as the head of shitposting first in the live stream is amazing.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, yes.
I'm pretty sure I will have many feature requests on it.
Especially
Yep.
on Clipsida. How is
I call her Clipsida. Absolutely. It is it's Casita through and through, but you can't call her Clippy. We get Microsoft after us. I don't want that.
We're friends with them, not enemies. Let's go.
Yeah, I mean, we're friends with GitHub.
Yeah, that's true.
And the nice thing is that if you switch the team switch, it will apply the team on every device, no matter the theme they selected. Like it just override everything for April Fool's.
Yep, it does. One of the things I will call out is make sure your Home Assistant instance is set to light mode, because it does not work in dark mode. I mean, it does. It looks awful. So
Dark mode didn't exist back then. It doesn't matter
Yeah.
at all. It's just to be honest. In the chat, though, Paulus is here. We need power toys. I agree on that. Paulus is not joining us on stream today. He is actually at the airport probably right now, saying hi from the terminal, I guess, or something, because he's traveling to the Netherlands. Because
great
I thought this
reading.
would be a good, right? Like, look at me building a bridge here.
Go you.
Because next week we actually have State of the Open Home. Soto live in Utrecht, where we will be streaming to YouTube, and you can also join the audience. There are still a few tickets left. I believe there was some later waves of tickets, so there's still a chance for you to catch a ticket if you want to go there. I'm dying to meet you there. But we will do a live State of the Open Home this year from Utrecht with audience, and I'm stoked. I'm looking forward to it. We had rehearsals today, I am looking forward to it. Missy is like, oh yeah, Missy will be there too, by the way. I'm looking forward to that
Yeah,
as well.
well, you guys get to see me if you're actually in the Netherlands. If you're not attending, buy your ticket so you can see me. But also, you can probably just ping me and be like, you want to meet up for something? I might be able to. We'll see. Frank, hover over that little ticket there. Like, show the little animation on. Oh, yeah.
It's
The care we put into our websites. I swear, like it's the little things that is just so sexy, though. Oh,
I was muted. I like how we actually are putting so much effort in the designs nowadays. We have such a great team working on that. Looks very good. On the 7th is National Polish Day. Really?
So for those of you who aren't in our Discord, I was talking about plans that we were going to be doing for leading up to it. There's a couple of them, the community members talking about what they want to do. And I'm like, I'm going to find a nail salon and get my nails done and pamper myself before the actual event. So yes, the 7th is National Nail Polish Day in the Netherlands because of that now. I just made it up.
Okay. Paul is, by the way, reporting he's not at the airport. He's still in a cab. Okay, I guess that will do. We're
This is
live
the second
streaming to a
time-
cab.
Live streaming to a cab. It's not the first time I've live streamed to a cab with Paulus this week, actually.
This guy, huh? All right,
This guy.
but that's State of the Open Home. I'm looking forward to it. We are going to look into what we have basically done and what we're doing, but most of all, we're going to give a little sneak peek ahead, and I'm looking forward to that one. To be personally, like, I'm really looking forward to that bit. And if you cannot make it to Utrecht, we're of course streaming it. Follow our channels, like, subscribe down below, hit the bell so you get actually the notification, and then follow us and look at it. And I hope we are not going to disappoint. I'm pretty sure we won't. It will be an hour and a half or something-ish, right?
Yeah.
And then
Mhm.
you will be happy that you've watched afterwards.
Yeah, we're actually doing special things for those watching online. So if you can't make it, we're not forgetting about you guys. While yes, the people in person get to see us in person, we'll make sure you guys have something special too. Don't worry. The one thing I do want to call out, Frank, is that we're not live streaming on the Home Assistant channel. Actually,
No,
there's an Open
we're not.
Home Foundation YouTube channel that we will actually be live streaming it from. The pre-show will happen here in conjunction with the Open Home Foundation channel. So if you are more focused on this channel, we'll have it ready for you guys. But at the same time, we'll push you over to the Open Home Foundation channel to watch the event itself. Look, I look like a fairy. It looks like little wings right behind me.
Oh, God. All right, people are asking for a link for the live stream. Maybe you can drop it in the chat.
I'll grab that while you do stuff.
Okay. Wait, am I speaking, JLo Sass? Yeah, maybe we should practice later. We already did. You don't freak people
Like
out now.
60 times.
Yeah. Then again, it's going to be really nicely produced, by the way. I'm looking forward to it. All right. State of the Open Home. Tune in. Missy will drop the link. If you can join, buy a ticket. It will be fun. I will be happily meet you there as well, including the rest of us. And yeah, that's next week after Easter. Then, before we dive into the release, I think we should go over a few more things. We had some news coming out, including Heated. Heated joined the Works with Home Assistant program, which is absolutely lovely to see. Another Works with Home Assistant partner landing here. And Heated actually makes those little thermostats that work on Z-Wave that you can use with like electric floor heating, for example. There are a bunch of them listed here. Look. And they are now recommended to use with Z-Wave. I had these ones in my previous home, actually, which... Previous, yes.
One of my favorite things about these blogs is how much we lean into the puns with not only the names of the companies, but like what the devices do. So we're like a very warm welcome, guys.
Yeah, I guess.
Oh, I love it so much.
All right. Yeah, that. And I do have another one, but I will save that one for later. I think we should dive into the releases, actually. Maybe we should, because we have a very large one. And I don't know in which order to kick it off. Does any of you feel like, yeah, let's jump in? Like, I know Niels in the video and Paul will show some demos, but we haven't talked about the order. This is not scripted at all. That's always the problem.
We can use the order of the release note. Or if we think there is something more important.
Video is agreeing, which means he is up first in that regard because the video is here. Yeah. You want to share your screen, or do you want to talk first, or what's the idea?
Yeah, I can share.
Yeah. I don't
I mean,
think you're
maybe I
sharing
can
right
talk
now.
first. No, not yet.
That's okay.
So let me find the button.
What else?
And
Now Frank has 16 heat pumps from 60 different brands. Yes, that's another problem there indeed, JLo. You're definitely right. Although I think Abilio might actually help with what he's going to talk about, because he is going to bring back something that's really old.
yes, but it's everywhere still,
Right?
which is nice. Yeah.
ESP Home. That's not old.
So if someone now goes to here to our amazing ready-made project, you can see that we have an infrared proxy. And this new thing basically allows you to have infrared controlled devices on Home Assistant without having to learn codes and mess with having a receiver and pointing a remote to it, or looking at the internet to find the infrared codes. So I'll try to demo it here. Hopefully I can make the demo work. The current supported device is a thing like this. It's a small infrared emitter and receiver, which is quite a nice form factor. So you basically get this. This is from Seed. I think it's on the blog post too. And you go to our ready-made projects. You connect. I need to connect it.
So what Abilio is doing right now, he is actually hooking up this little device he has, which is a Seed Xiao IR thing, and you can actually flash that with an ESP Home ready-made project to become an IR, or that's the short version of it, the infrared proxy, which is the new thing we're shipping this release. We're adding support for infrared, actually, and that's there in ESP Home. Takes 2 minutes. Oh.
No, it's faster. It's lying.
It's actually not that bad. But I must be honest, Abilio, the first time I heard the idea for an infrared proxy, I was like, who the hell cares about infrared these days?
Yeah, I get it. I use infrared, but I was also skeptic. Like, why do we need it? But I actually have at least 3 situations where I used an infrared thingy, and it was much more annoying to set up than what we have now. Let me just make this move forward.
You even have a network for the live party?
Yes, because I was afraid of leaking my Wi-Fi credentials. So it was safer to just set it up.
Nice.
Yeah.
So now this little device that Abilio had is running ESP Home. And connected to your HA party Wi-Fi, of course.
And I had to do no manual code editing or whatever. I just opened the website, connected the thing to a USB port, and it's done. So now we can add it to Home Assistant. It was already discovered too, so if you don't do this for some reason, it will show up on Home Assistant still, which is quite nice. So we add it. Oh.
Live
Now
demos.
it is not working. Yes, let me restart it. Just a second.
He's restarting a whole half Home Assistant in a few seconds here, live on stream.
Yes. Nah, it's done. It's working.
Like it's nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, you can give it a name. I already gave it before when I was trying this. That's why it shows up here. So now we have an infrared entity, which is a new thing on Home Assistant. It is known now because it will show you the timestamp when an infrared signal is sent through this emitter. It will also, I think, show you what sent the signal. Yeah, you can also see why it is triggered here. I think we should improve this still, but for now, yeah, it shows you what triggered it, which is sometimes nice because you could use multiple devices with one emitter, and it could be nice to troubleshoot.
You now created the IR proxy. You added it, you flashed it through the ESPO website. You added it to Home Assistant, and now we have an infrared entity.
Yeah,
that's the new thing. So, and now what?
Now, as any other integration, you can just go here, and you go to the LG infrared integration. You pick your transmitter, and done. You have your controls for your TV on Home Assistant with fancy entities like the media player entity, without having to set up any codes or do manual learning or anything like that, which is, I think it's quite cool. And there's one nice thing that I found out about the LG TV, and I've tested this in 3 different generation LG TVs, which is you have the normal toggle button here, but you also have dedicated power on and power off buttons, which for automations are really great because you know that you are turning it off or turning it on, which is really cool. This will not be the same thing for every TV, of course, but for this one, it's like this.
Nice, it's so cool. So if you press one of these buttons, what will happen is that the IR signal will actually be sent from this proxy, and that's the thing that you selected when you set up the LG integration, right? This is so cool because while I initially hated like the idea of IR because I was like, who the hell is using it? Yeah, the things that we can do with this is actually pretty big. It's not just televisions, right? Because that's the common thing that people probably will immediately think about. But I had a different idea, which is I have one of those air cons with an IR remote control. I still need to do it, but this now has potential. I can like get my air conditioning up into Home Assistant, which is absolutely super nice. I'm looking forward to that, to be honest.
Yeah.
How would you go about doing that? Would you create an integration for it, or could you just learn the commands like you would with like a Logitech Harmony or something?
No, for now, you have to create an integration to define the entities and all that, because it's also nice that if you add an integration for an air conditioner, you get a climate entity and not just buttons. Right. It's a nicer experience.
Yeah, true.
We are also working on getting receiver support on Home Assistant. So after that, we can actually have things for learning and maybe even receiving commands. So if you use your manual remote on your air conditioner, it shows up on Home Assistant, because it will be meh if the temperature is not synced. But if you have a receiver, then you can keep them in sync.
And you can control your whole house using a TV remote. You should be able to do that.
Like a magic wand just pointed at things. Start controlling.
I have one of those. I'm really excited about that. Like just being able to point it and control things with my wand. Real magic smart home, guys. That's what we're going for.
This is it, right? This is the next level.
Yeah, this is the future.
Control anything with any old school remote. Hell yeah.
Yeah, it's nice.
Yep.
I want one of those really old ones that just look like, I don't know, maybe I can pick them up from a secondhand store or something, like something that is from like the 80s or something, and make it work with your smart home. A little bit like what JLo did with its old walkie-talkie that worked. Something like that would be just cool.
Yes.
Yeah. There was also some big ones. I think I've only saw it once for TVs. They were like this. They even have a small screen. They look very retro. I've never seen one of those in like 30 years, but they had a nice look.
This is so cool. I'm looking forward to what's coming next, right? This is currently the only integration that supports the infrared, right? The LG one.
Yep. Yep.
But there's
And
a
also
blog post.
ESP on the emitter side.
Right.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, exactly. So we
I
do have
think
some.
we'll have
sorry.
some pop-up soon.
I hope so. We see more. There were some questions in the chat. I marked a few. Maybe we can pull those up and talk about them. This one came up: proxy to receive or transmit as well. Well, it technically can do it, but we haven't built the receive part yet. That's correct, right?
Yep.
I understood that one
But
correctly.
by the way, if you get one of this and you flash it, it should be ready for the receive part, so you don't have to flash it again.
Check. All right, that's awesome. The link, by the way, is in the ready-made projects of Home Assistant of where to get one of these. We should share that. Maybe, Missy, you could drop it in the chat if you haven't already. But the ready-made project will have a listing of where you can get this little thing from seed.
How dare you give me more work? Jeez.
By the way,
Hey.
I just looked at mine and remembered the VPE has a groove port in the back where you can plug an infrared thing. Just saying. I was using this to control my desk speakers previously.
Of course, you can build your own.
Yes, you can build your own.
That kind of answers the one from Randy right here on screen right now. What other USB devices will work? Well, you can build your own, right? Including like using the Grove port as VP, apparently. I didn't know that one. Good. Nice.
And there's also Groove infrared emitters and receivers, so you just have to connect two cables. No soldering needed.
Is it as easy as adding a Bluetooth proxy support to a ESPM device? Just few lines of YAML and done?
Yes, I think so.
Nice.
It's like 3 lines or 4, and
just to define the I/O and
Yep.
Nice. All right, then we have a question from Matrick here, which I think is interesting. I saw this one on Reddit today as well a few times. Are you going to enable Broadlink devices, IR devices?
I think so. Maybe not me, but someone I think will, because any device that has an integration on Home Assistant and can send and receive infrared signals, raw infrared signals, should be able to support the new infrared platform. So,
let's see what the future beholds. We're open for it, as was currently like small highlight there. If you want to contribute to that, that's welcomed. And of course, you can control the TV of your neighbors. What the hell is that for a kind of question? That's the fun part, Peter. Do you remember those old watches in the classes?
Oh no, you're doing some old people shit right there. Yes, no.
Jesus.
You're welcome.
I'm old. I know. I'm sorry. I'm getting old. But I do remember having fun back at school in the day with those watches, and then turn off the television from the teacher every time.
Yep.
Would piss them off.
Exactly. Oh no, that's what they get for using open technology like that.
Right. Exactly. There was a question. Can we add IR to the voice PE? Yeah, we showed that actually. A video just held it up. You can on the Grove board that the thing has. But look, there it is.
It is usually covered. It's just a small plastic thing that you can break off, and you expose the port. Then you just connect it to a Grove infrared thing. This one has a little box, but it's just connected.
Super easy. I'm super stoked about the IR stuff, the infrared stuff, although it's like definitely not there yet, right? We only have something came up in chat, didn't it? Anyway, I'm super excited about the infrared stuff, mostly because it's old.
My bad.
Okay.
I press buttons.
Mostly you press buttons. Mostly because it's old tech that we bring back to life, and I think it fits very well with what we do at the foundation, right? Sustainability is one of our key values we live by, and this is definitely making old devices available and more sustainable. And you can include them in your smart home. The thing that I like
new devices, because
really?
there are some smart TVs that you need to turn on for them to be smart and connect to Home Assistant.
Yeah, that's right.
So it's nice to be able to turn them on, and then they work as a smart TV. on Home Assistant.
It's because of the power regulations. They shut down like the internal networking stack, basically, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's actually clever. That's good. Yeah, great times ahead. If you want to contribute to the infrared things that we're building right now and everything that's more to come, feel free to join the community and join our Discord so you can actually jump into development. And if you want to build an integration or two, you're of course also welcome to do so. Abilio is on Discord. He's probably happy to help you. And on our developer blog, developers.homeassistant.io, he put up a blog actually to help you getting started in that regard. All right. Awesome. That's one. we have one topic down today. We're making progress.
Only 30 minutes in. That's fine. But everybody seems to be really excited about this. Like, it's just, we knew IR would be popular, right? Like, we're like, hey, people will actually be able to do these nice little things, even if we are just starting small, right? And actually, Niels will sometime soon show something that started very, very small and has expanded significantly since we actually introduced it. So I love that we end up going through and talking about IR and people getting so stoked about it. That's awesome.
Exactly. IR never left the chat. It's the title of this release, by the way, for that reason. It's true, right? It's still, and as Abilia also pointed out, it's still a thing even today, even with newer devices at some point. It's still a thing, and having a good support out of the box is something I'm looking forward to. It worked really well with Bluetooth over time. Bluetooth is now used to be like very, very random, unstable experience, right, in Home Assistant. And since we introduced the Bluetooth proxies, it's actually pretty nice. You can sprinkle them around your home and they work. And being able to do the same thing with IR over time, I think it's just great. It's just really good.
Okay, we're solving problems people didn't know they had.
Look at that. It's the
Amazing.
dangerous part of smart home in general, to be honest. Like, oh, I can do that too.
Yeah, now I've got to buy a bunch of stuff again. Yeah.
And down the rabbit hole it goes.
Yeah, there we go again.
Yeah, exactly. Talking about going, there we go again, Niels. You're here about a subject that we actually talked about quite a few times. And as Missy pointed out, we've been working on that for quite a long time and talking about a huge rabbit hole in that case. This is one.
Yep. And it's not even a rabbit hole like I helped dig because I wasn't even at the Open Home Foundation when we started this. But yes, I'm working on it and hoping to get it across the finish line. And I mean, I'm presuming you're talking about the purpose-specific triggers and conditions, right? That's
purpose-specific triggers and conditions. Exactly.
Yes.
That's a mouthful, but
it is a little bit, yeah. That's right.
That name is, by the way, our working title, and to explain what's going on and what we're changing for the future, please don't remember it.
We'll try to forget the name afterwards, yeah.
It'll never leave us, guys.
No, I don't think so. And naming things is hard, right? So, yeah.
It is. It definitely is hard. And to have a name for something that we already have, which is automation triggers and conditions, and then explaining what is new is quite difficult. Maybe, and that's also the part where I think that purpose-specific triggers and conditions is like, you might watch this and look at us like, what the hell are these guys talking about? Maybe it's good time for an introduction there on what's going on.
Purpose-specific.
This is sweet. Yeah. Shall I try and do a quick introduction about what the heck this is?
Yeah.
So if you think about creating an automation in your home, typically I think you'll be thinking about some object in your home that you would like to automate on. So I don't know, a light turns on, motion is detected somewhere, and you've got in mind like where that device is or sort of which device even it is specifically. But before we did all this, before we went down this rabbit hole, you had to sort of know this, of course, but then you had to think about how This would translate to the sort of data model in Home Assistant. What's an entity? Which sort of trigger would I need? Is it an entity state trigger? Is it a numerical state trigger? It's a whole deal, or used to be at least. And at some point, we decided to start flipping the mental model here. We kind of did the same for actions previously, where you think about what device or entity you want to act upon, I guess, is what you could say. And you pick that one first in Home Assistant, and then you are presented with everything that you can do with that device or entity or whatever you're picking, even an area or something like that. And we wanted to
especially
see
the latter, right?
Sure.
The area, like being able to say, like, turn on all the lights in my living room or turn them all off. That is such a convenient thing, right? Regardless if I like add more lights or remove them or shift things around my house and change the area on like those devices, the automation and the action part will just keep working because I use the area.
Yeah. And so, we've been working on bringing the same sort of pattern to automation triggers and conditions as well. And we've seen it in I think it was introduced in the December release. Is that right, Frank? Just to double check. Like last year?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
I think so.
It's only been 4 months.
Yeah.
It's only been 4 months.
4 months. No, it was December indeed where we started doing this. Yeah.
Yeah, it was introduced as a labs feature, so it's something you have to turn on by yourself to try it. It's very much worth trying, especially now with this release, I must say, because we've added. Honestly, I don't know how many. I think maybe 200-ish triggers and conditions altogether in this release. There's a lot of them, and I know because I created all the GitHub issues for them. So yeah, it was a lot of them.
He has the best job in the world.
Yeah, I don't know. Yes, I do, but also no.
I started to add the French translation for it, and it's a lot.
No.
I can confirm.
Best of luck there.
Best of luck.
I started on the Dutch one, but I didn't got far. To be fair,
I mean, it's a work in progress, right? So I wanted to
to start with that, by the way,
ahead.
should we talk about, because this is a work in progress, even in this release. And as was shortly mentioned already, this is currently in Home Assistant Labs. It means that if you want to play around with this and try it out, and for God's sakes, please do, because it helps us understand what's going. Besides that, whatever Niels is going to show, it's really cool, this release. There's a lot being added. But yes, you need to enable this feature in order to use it. So it's a feature you need to enable in Home Assistant Labs. You can find it in Settings, go to System, and then go to Labs, where you find the purpose-specific triggers and conditions you can enable. It's safe, it's fun, and you should definitely try it in this release, as Niels is going to show you today.
Yep.
And a lot of people actually ask, when they enable this and make new automations, does it break their current automations, the ones that were made in the old way? And no, it does not. Your old automations stay the way they are. One of our biggest commitments is to not break automations when we do updates. So anything that would break is if you disabled it, any of the new automations you made. Those ones would actually have a little problems, but that's only if you disable labs. What I end up doing myself as I test these out, when we add new triggers and conditions, I disable my old automation and I rebuild it in the new way so that I don't lose that old automation. So if you are concerned about that, just disable the automation. Don't delete it. Don't get rid of it. Disabling it means it won't go. It's really easy.
Yeah, that's a very smart way of trying this. Yeah, absolutely.
Besides that, when you enable a labs feature, we do offer you to make a backup, right? So you can have always a restore point and a way back. So it's, in a way, pretty safe to do. But Niels, go ahead. Let's show what do we got.
One more thing to mention before we dive straight in is the place where you turn it on. The feature is also the place where you can give us feedback, and we really want your feedback.
Yeah.
So
you should show it. Actually, should you show? Can you show?
I can try.
Okay. So it's
try,
system.
of course I can. And then labs. There it is.
Labs. Here we go.
I've got it enabled, obviously, but you can click enable, just like you could for the Windsor mode and the device database. And here is a link to provide feedback or report an issue if you run into something that's breaking.
Nice.
Or whatever. So this is good to note, I think.
Yeah, I actually just reported directly to Niels, and he's like, "Okay, let's set up a meeting."
Yes.
Let's not all do that.
Yes, exactly.
No.
They're only for certain people.
I'm special.
Yes, you're privileged in that sense. Okay, let's have a look. Because like I said, we added, let's say, well, I think close to 200 triggers and conditions. So for every trigger that I'm showing you, there is very likely to be a matching condition as well. Maybe not for all of them yet, but we're committed to adding all of those, which is something to mention. A cool one I really like is this smoke detected one, for example. There's a bunch of them that are like this, where one is triggering right now. That's not even on purpose. Luckily, it's not the smoke one. Yeah, you can trigger on a smoke detector signaling smoke now, which you couldn't before. You had to still use the entity state trigger for this because you couldn't, and now it's there. And these are all based on, I don't know, do we get technical in here? It's the sensors and binary sensors with different device classes. They're all combined within these sort of grouped triggers. So it doesn't really matter what kind of an entity or device it is that you're trying to react to. It just works, basically. So you can see here, I have, in my entire house, I have 3 smoke alarms at the moment, and they all just work. I mean, they're all binary sensors, but they all just work in this trigger. So that's a great example. We have ones for carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide, nitrous oxides, like air quality stuff, but also temperature, illuminance. All these things are now here, landed as part of this release. So that's really exciting.
There's so much
Yeah.
to unpack in this right side right now, by the way. You've like created a trigger that triggers on your whole house, like every smoke detector in your whole house, and you actually picked just house, right?
Yes. Yeah, I'll show you how I did it. Because this is the new picker that we introduced in December. So you start, again, like I said, by picking your target first, the thing you want to target here, want to react to, basically. And in this case, I don't care where it is. I just want all of my smoke sensors to be targeted. So I just pick the house, and then I'm presented with all of these things that I could trigger on, like power stuff changing, a remote turning on. And maybe I wouldn't want to use this for my entire home, but you could if you wanted to, absolutely. But the thing I tried to do here was with this smoke. So I don't care where, but it's important for me to know that it happened in the house, for example.
This list is amazing, right? For people watching right now and do not have this enabled, you actually would have just a few triggers like state change trigger or numeric state trigger, like a few of those like key building blocks that are working with our stage engine. And Niels now scrolling through his house. Look at the amount of triggers he has to his able to choose from, right? It's a huge list. That is amazing. That is going to change the way we build and think about automations,
Yeah,
to be fair.
absolutely. Absolutely. And I can also just drill down into individual areas here if I wanted to. So there's nothing really in my, let's see, kitchen, for example, would be an interesting one. You got a bunch of stuff in there. But I can go into here, which is a light, and I can, where is it? This is it. For some reason, the icon is missing. So this is a light that I'm picking just now. And these are all the triggers we offer for the light. And what you'll notice as well, I think this is new in this release. I do believe it's new. We did so many things. I kind of get lost up, losing, what was new. But I think we added this one as well as like a fallback. So this is the old entity state trigger that will not go away, but it wasn't there before in this dropdown. So if you had this feature enabled and you selected a light, this wouldn't be here. And if we didn't have any light triggers, it would just be empty. It would be a bit of a dead end. You would have to find this yourself. But now it's always there as a backup in case you, A, want to use it, or B, don't have any purpose-specific triggers here. So that's a nice addition, I think, as well. Quality of life improvement. Another cool one is on numerical stuff. I'm just calling it stuff for now. It's a this is a temperature trigger, and just like with the old numerical state trigger, you can define, okay, I want to trigger when it reaches above a certain value or below another value, or both even, or within the range, and that's all supported now as well in these new triggers and conditions. So right now I have this trigger when the outdoor temperature drops below 10 degrees Celsius. I think we added in this release as well. I mean, there's so much stuff here. Is support for different units. So if your sensor happened to be in one unit and you wanted to specify the threshold in another unit, or maybe you were targeting an area with a bunch of sensors in different units, you can specify what unit you want us to use for the threshold, and we'll convert everything and do the right calculations and have this trigger at the right moment.
That is so nice.
Yes,
It
it's so
is.
good.
We went back and forth a lot on this in one in
Yes.
particular, because how do we determine what they're using, Celsius or Fahrenheit? How do we determine which way we want to go with it for it? How does it display? Like those kind of things we were just bashing out over the past few weeks in our Discord server, and it was very exciting to watch how this eventually evolved into where we are now.
Yeah, exactly. Trust me, this took some time, but we're here now. It's it's really nice. Let's see, what else can I mention? You can, of course, still select an entity that reports a number, but now we've limited this list to not just every possible number. So because it would make sense to select in the temperature trigger some sensor that reports kilowatts, for example. That doesn't make any sense.
It needs to match, right?
Yeah, exactly. It needs to match. It doesn't need to match the exact unit for this target here, but it does need to match. I wouldn't want to use the word device type because that's not a thing, but it's kind of like in the same general area of the device or thing that you're targeting here.
At least an entity that is compatible, right? And I
Exactly.
must be honest, the select entity, I liked what we showed there. Like back in the day when we had entity pickers, you had to scroll through many things. Look how beautiful it is nowadays. By the way, I think this is something we've been working on quite a lot over the past year or so. We have a beautiful search now in here. It's easily scrollable. It tells you which area it is in, which device it is in. Like it's all the data is visible there in one glance. I like how this looks and works. And I like the fact that you can now switch indeed between, do you want to actually like compare the temperature to a numeric value or to an entity, which is super cool. And then the added unit tops it off.
And you can mix and match too if you want. It's super flexible and nice.
And the new selector is quite nice because previously we had multiple fields all over the triggers, and now it's just one nice selector. So it's quite cool.
Actually, it was like with a checkbox, and you had to enable it, and it got a bit messy. But so we've refined that and created this little box for it. But it's all the same YAML configuration still behind.
I was going to say that there's already people asking, does this work in YAML? And
absolutely,
yes, it does.
Is what it looks
absolutely.
Like. Yeah. This will never go away.
YAML.
We will always support the YAML configuration as well.
100%. And YAML in this whole story that we're doing here is a first-class citizen. It means that we consider the UX experience for YAML just as important as from the UI. We have gone out of our way to make sure everything you look at makes sense. Like if you look at this part, trigger is a temperature that changed, so that feels natural, right? It triggers when the temperature is changed. The target here is very familiar to what you already know with the actions. It's very much the same. And then we have this new layer called options to make a clear understanding what the options are. And everything is named and put in there in as much of a natural way as possible. And that's just really cool. YAML is a first-class citizen and is very, very important to us.
Yeah, definitely here to stay.
People that pick or that follow our discussions on GitHub will understand from the time we took discussing the names in YAML of some triggers and conditions. I think that shows that YAML is not being forgotten or just rushed out.
No.
It reads beautifully. It's almost like reading a sentence here, and you can just immediately know what this does if you know how to read YAML, of course. But absolutely.
Yeah.
So I was going to say one more thing, which is typical, but I wanted to show this, which is new, and I think I'm very excited about this, and I think everyone else will be as well.
This is the golden feature.
Yes, I think so too. This is a trigger that you can use to react to event entities. Because
who has in chat? Just curious. Who has ever tried to use an event entity in Home Assistant and automate with a state trigger with that? Like type Q, just Q, like something like that, or a one. Like I'm curious because this must have been like a horrible experience for you, at least For many, it has been. For me, it has been. Well, there's a queue. There we go. Some queues are
Many
rolling
times I
in.
feel, there we go. Yeah.
There we go.
Love it.
It was a pain with the unavailable state and all this stuff because, like, I remember my VP reboot during the night and it just fired an automation that I don't want because it was thinking I was clicking the button. So yeah.
Yeah. There you go.
Oh,
Yeah,
we're in
it was
agreement.
bad. And so I mean we really want to improve this even further. I can give some examples later on, but let's just look at this for a second. So this is an event entity that I have in my home. It's a switch button. Like you click the button and then it throws an event. Before this, again, like you mentioned, you have to use YAML and templates and all that stuff to get this to kind of function the way you want. And now you just get a nice drop down with the only event types that this entity would possibly throw, and you could just pick one or pick two if you wanted to, or pick all of them. It doesn't matter, whatever you want to do. And it will only trigger when those event types are fired, essentially.
All the things that if you ever struggle with event entities, like unavailable, unknown states, coming from unknown during startup, coming from unavailable because your device was offline, double press the doorbell, press them multiple times or the same switch multiple times and they're not triggering. And all that horrible stuff is all abstracted away from you. It's stuff you don't have to worry about anymore. You pick up this event received, you select the entity you want to trigger on, you select the event you want, and the thing will just work. Not unexpectedly, not fire at will. It will just only work when that thing happens exactly as you wanted it to be. It's beautiful.
Yeah, it's so good. And for us, like it's the start, because you could have, well, this is a button actually. This is a good example. This is a button that you press. We also have these things called buttons in Home Assistant itself. Like we have the button entities, and we also have input buttons. I think I believe they're called. And all of these we would love to tie together in a button pressed trigger, for example. We don't know exactly how that's going to look, but we love to do that. And this is like a first step in that direction, because we need to think about how we deal with event types. And this is ongoing for us. Maybe a little bit vague for now. There's not too much to share, but it's ongoing work. And hopefully in the next release, or maybe the one after that, we'll be able to ship something in regards to this. I'm not making any promises. Don't quote me on this, etc., but still, like, we're going to try and get this sorted.
For this trigger, you used an entity there, but you can also use any target like labels or areas, right?
I think so, yeah. I haven't even tried, to be honest, but yes, let's try. There, yeah, it just works.
Nice.
Yeah. Frank, we don't hear you.
Sorry. Thank you for noticing. There was one thing that actually showed while you were doing this that's also new this release, and it's a little thing. It's that you barely notice. It's also not in the release notes, but I like the detail to attention here. Can you remove the target there? If you now look on the left, it says no target set. So if you accidentally forget to set one and you set up your automation, don't know why, it actually shows you loud and clear that there is no target defined here, which I think is just a nice little touch. Sorry, I just noticed because you changed there. I think it was good to call out. I like that.
Actually, yeah, there's a new addition in this release as well. If you remove a device or something, then you've already got the orange view of this, like that there's a device that's unknown or missing or something, and this is now added in case you forget to add one. And I think the previous situation was just showing an error up here, just very technical and generic, and this is kind of the way moving forward that we'd like to do things, just kind of present the error where you would expect to fix it as well. So that's a nice first step there as well, I think. And then we didn't even cover the conditions, but they're pretty much the same in how they work. But they're just in condition form. So again, you can target a single entity, or I can go in and just pick I don't have an area with this inside, which is annoying. So I'll just pick this one then for a second. I guess I didn't assign this to an area. Well, doesn't matter. It all works the same way. That's my point.
Cool. So One thing to notice this release that I think we should also talk about is we do something new. Besides having a lot of triggers that we already showed here, like smoke detected and temperature changed, there is something in here that we call going cross domain, or even make more specific domains than existed. And if you're like, what the heck is a domain? A domain could be a light or a switch. We have those domains in Home Assistant already. Here's an air quality, smoke detected. And one of the things we did this release, if you maybe could go by type, or that does work too, door.
Yeah, sure.
If you can't go by type, then in the add trigger dialog, then we could maybe show it. There are a lot of new types in here this release. Like we had the cover domain, and the cover was including doors, garage doors, windows, and things like that. And we have splitted those out to create a better mental model here, and also to help you automating things. So you can actually see, Niels is scrolling through the list. There's actually a window listed in there as a potential trigger in the top, and garage door and door, and you can actually automate with those. I'm not sure if you can click window. Look, we have triggers for windows opened and closed, even though they're a cover entity. We're having them available as specific triggers and conditions for that purpose.
Yeah, I think those are the big ones that we sort of split up. Yep.
And cover is still available.
Cover is still available.
Yeah.
Yes, for sure. It will actually list them all.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that's absolutely super nice. Besides all of this, we have another trick up our sleeve, and that's cross-domain. So besides making more specific domains for specific purposes, we also decided to go cross-domain. And what this does mean is that when you previously wanted to automate with a switch, you would need a switch type of trigger, right? Or switch type of action, or switch type of trigger. And we can now actually, a switch might be the wrong example here. Maybe temperature, no, battery. Battery would be nice. Do you have battery in here?
Yep.
Look, this is cool. So we now have triggers for batteries, which is absolutely, by the way, absolutely helpful, because you can now say trigger when a battery is low and then send me a notification or make a persistent notification. It makes it very natural to automate that. And if you do that on, like, for example, a battery is empty on or your floor upstairs or downstairs, or in Niels's case, his house, which is actually a floor, I guess, Niels, because we don't have the house level, right? But something we definitely should explore. Now this will trigger when one of the batteries in his house is low. And this is so cool because you don't have to maintain the list of the batteries in this thing. But what's even more important is that in Home Assistant, we have batteries that are reported as binary sensor. That says like, I'm low or not. But we also have batteries reporting a percentage. And this trigger doesn't care. It will take all of that. Right?
I think so. Does it?
It should, at least. That was what
we need to check. Sorry.
No, the battery will trigger when it's low or crosses a certain threshold. So that's definitely in there. We do have triggers, or at least triggers now that cross domain, right? For humidity, for battery occupancy. Motion is a good one, actually, that you actually showed earlier as well. A motion could be an event entity. A motion could also be a binary sensor. And the triggers don't care about that. You can say, if motion is detected in the living room, trigger, and it will do.
Yeah, I think temperature is a great example, because you'll see that we have sensors here that report the temperature, but also climate entities. And I don't have a water heater in my home, but it would show up. Weather is showing up because weather reports temperature as well. So these are all different domains that are included in the temperature trigger. I think that's a great example.
This is a good example, definitely. So cross-domain is new, more specific domain is new. We have tons of them, as we've already seen. A little target thing here, that's new. That's a lot to take in. A lot of potential here. To-do items. Oh, that's beautiful.
Calendar as well. There's some new ones there. I mean, like I said, there's so much. I think we're barely scratching the surface here, but yeah. Without sounding like a broken record, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, that definitely is. We did receive a bunch of questions during this. I've picked out a few. One of the first ones that came in, and I think this is something that we've seen a lot in our responses and feedback as well. Please, by the way, try this out and tell us what you think. But this is one of the things that came up a few times. Will it be possible to set a delay for new triggers like the old state triggers?
The answer is yes, it will. Not in this release, but yes, it's going to happen. We were just talking about this, I think, yesterday. I think we've got a way forward now. It's kind of complex, maybe too much to go into, but it's hard with the new behavior stuff that's in here. If I go out of YAML mode, this stuff, which I think we shouldn't spend too much time explaining, maybe now. This is kind of difficult to understand. We're working on improving this as well, just so don't worry. But but adding back the for condition, or not condition, sorry, configuration, that's definitely on the radar and happening soon.
And that's kind of a thing I can relate back to what someone else asked in chat was, is this considered stable to completely rebuild everything that I have? And it's stable to use, yes, but it's not quite ready to replace every automation you have, especially if you're using delays. Like I use delays for several things, so I can't even switch over to some of these. But we know it is a problem. We're working on it.
Yeah, most of what you can do with the new triggers you could already achieve, although a bit more difficult with the old state triggers. Those will still have for. It's coming to the new ones, but for now, if you really need it, you can still use this. Even if you've got the feature turned on, because I have it turned on, and you can still use this. Yep. It's not going away. I think that's an important thing to stress.
We will never break the existing automations, right? That's not our goal. It's one of the rules we have. We will not break automations. The old state triggers are still there, and they will remain there, right? They allow for some very more complex use cases that you might want to dive into, because maybe you understand the state machine and want to do something very specific that we don't provide a generic. I'm already talking about generic, but where we don't provide a trigger for. So that's definitely that. And we have a question here from whatever, the new selector for triggers. How does it behave if I add a new entry to the label? Will it reload automations, or will running automations stop?
Well, that's the great power behind these new triggers, in my opinion, is that these targets, they will update on the fly. Like you wouldn't have to go back to the automation and add the new device or entity or whatever to the automation. It would just continue working as if you didn't change anything. So, for example, I have this. I have 3 smoke sensors in my home, or in the house floor that I've created in my home. If I buy a new one and I put it in the same area, the automation will still work. It will just start reacting to the additional smoke sensor I put in my home. And the same goes for labels. I'm not really a huge user of labels, but I think I have some. No, I don't have any configured. So I'm sorry. But the same it works the same way. It's essentially the same. So if you add the label to another device, it will start working in the automation without you having to change anything.
And this is what makes it really really powerful, right? If you make the most simplistic automation I can think of, is like motion is detected in the living room, turn on lights in the living room. No matter how many motion sensors I add, change, or remove from my living room, the same for my lights, the automation will remain working. I don't have to look at it ever again. And from a mental model, it just makes sense. Motion is detected, living room, turn on lights in the living room, be done. And don't think about like entities or how it's structured at all. So I think this is one of the most powerful part of things that we're doing with all these new triggers and conditions, to be fair.
And I think it's important to say, like, it's not going to reload or stop the automation. It just keeps going as if it was running the exact same way when you set it up. So you shouldn't have an interruption. You shouldn't need to go back and refresh it. You shouldn't have to worry about anything being interrupted when it happens. If you do, submit feedback to us. We want to know. We want to make sure that it's working for you. You can do that in the lab section when you go and enable this. So seriously, if you have a problem that you run into like that, we need to know, but it's not supposed to. You add it to a label, you add it to an area, and it just keeps working.
So, should Jonathan use this instead of group helpers?
I mean, sure.
I'm going to say you can use it in tandem, honestly.
Yeah.
There are some group helpers that I actually use specifically for shortcuts to sentence triggers. So if you saw earlier in the live stream, I had a light on one of my dashboards that was called dog mode. That is 2 lights in my mudroom that I created a group helper called dog mode, so that I can just ask my voice assistant turn on dog mode when we put our dog into the mudroom, so that we don't have to worry about the door sensors that are actually there. But outside of that, it's for the most part, you probably shouldn't need them, but in unique situations like what I have, I wouldn't say it replaces them completely.
Yeah, especially if you like use them to show something on your dashboard or something.
Yep,
They still serve
exactly.
a purpose there, but in automations, I guess you don't really have to.
If you want to track the resulting state of a group, and this is the technical answer, I guess, then it's something where you use a group sort of thing, right? Like, for example, I have multiple temperature sensor and I want to track the average of them. That's where a group is helpful. Or maybe you have a light fixture or 3 bulbs, like I have right here. I have 3 bulbs here that I want to use as one in Home Assistant. Then a light group would be very helpful for that, because it gives me one light entity for all 3 of them, and it will be transparent. So groups definitely have their place still. But for automations, you can think differently if you want to lower the maintenance barrier there.
Yep.
Somebody asked, and we quickly highlighted how do you select the whole house as an area for a smoke detector? I think that's a little bit of a facade here. Niels?
Yeah, sorry about that. I just created a floor and I called it house. That's it.
Yeah.
And so I think we'd actually turn this around. You wouldn't really do it as an area if you're doing the smoke detectors ones. You'd probably go after the smoke detectors themselves as an entity for the actual devices. But on that note, a lot of people have been talking about having the house as an area. I dropped it into our projects thread where we're talking about purpose-specific triggers and conditions and where we're developing them. It's a very smart idea where we have the home to the floor to the area kind of nesting for it. But I also noted that people have outside areas. I have 2 outside areas. So including those in the home might not be the best idea. So we have it noted. We'll be working on it. Don't worry. We got it.
That's yellow, right? This is interesting, right? Maybe we should add home floor area. I like it. I was inspired, so definitely things to talk about soon.
Yeah.
For now,
we have
as a quick fix, you can just select all the floor. In general, people have just 2 or 3 floors maximum. So yeah,
you can select multiple floors, right? There are multiple areas you can select and add multiple floors. That's definitely there. Quick highlight here, by the way, when PK50S is saying like first PR is part of this version.
Congrats.
So,
nice.
Congrats. Thank you so much for your contribution. That's nice. I enjoyed that. And Vic is just happy because it just works.
It just works.
Just works. Definitely. That's the beautiful part of this, to be honest. All right. Anything else we should add on this? If you want to read up all of what we just talked about, and I can understand it might be a little bit much, to be fair, there is a list in the blog that lists everything we've added this release, which is a lot of triggers, and this is just a high-level overview, so you could go over them, and there's more even here for the existing domains that we added, including like counter and cover and remote and schedule. And well, it is at a stage at this point where I can definitely say, go enable that labs feature, try it out, play with it, and let us know how it goes, because we're pretty much at feature completeness. There are some things we still want to do, like the 4.1. Anything else, Niels?
Yeah, just improve the overall sort of user experience of some of these selectors, like the behavior one, for example. Just some minor tweaks there. It turns out to be a really difficult one to explain. So that's the big one, I think. Few more triggers, few more conditions, but yeah.
Few things, but we are pretty much complete. And that makes it also a good moment in time to play and test with this, to be honest. Like, if you're curious, do it, try it, let us know. Again, like, this is on repeat, but I really, really, really believe that this is a major change and something that is really good to play with.
Oh,
TK is right, though. Like, Niels created so many GitHub issues. Give him a thumbs up for that. Like, it's all his prep work that created the fact that we have so much to ship this release. Give the man a thumb up here, please. Thank you
yes,
so much, Niels.
absolutely. Like, it's going to be making sure we can keep doing things. Let's actually lean a little bit into that real quick. First off, have you noticed this nice little swag that Frank over here is wearing? Like, he's got this beautiful tan hoodie. It looks so comfy and warm. And there's this beautiful embroidered Home Assistant logo there. So if you wear clothes or know anyone else who wears clothes, you can support us with our new merch store from the Open Home Foundation. So actually, where's our little, oh, thank you. Pulled that up for us. We have the Open Home Foundation store here. It's got Open Home Foundation swag. It's got Works with Home Assistant swag. You can see that right there with that shirt of, it works most of the time with it. That's our favorite shirt, actually. One of the things you will notice is missing is ESP Home and Music Assistant stuff. However, we are working on that, so do not worry. We are on our way to that. We have, I'm very excited about getting those. One of the things is we have two different stores. We have an EU store. Yes, it is in Swiss francs. It will be changed in the future, but you have to rely on your bank for the conversion to euros right now. The other one is our US store, our North America store, and that store now ships to Australia and New Zealand. So if you are in Australia and New Zealand, use our US store to actually receive your swag, and then go support us. Actually, load into one of those products for me, Frank.
These socks. We have socks.
Those socks. We have socks. Look at them. It's so nice. We need Catheta logoed ones though. Like, we need more than just that logo. Scroll down a little bit for me. There's a graph I want to show off.
Look at this graph.
We have a price breakdown so you know what you're paying for. Not only are you paying for the admin stuff that we're doing, the other things that we're actually going through to pay for this, but it tells you exactly how much of your purchase goes directly to the foundation to support, much like the 5 of us here, also the other 65 people that work with us. We're getting bigger still, amazingly, but it's with your support like this that we actually are able to do this. Someone asked if the EU store ships to the UK. Yes, it is the Europe store. UK is still part of the European continent, even if it is not part of the European Union. So yes, it does ship to the UK, and you should not have to worry about taxes.
VAT.
What are these?
Yeah.
Duties. There you go.
Oh,
the duties.
Import duties.
Duties. Nice poop jokes while we're on live stream. It's lovely.
Go first. It's fine.
Oh, that's fair. That's fair. Go me. So yes, it's one of our favorite things that we've actually done. We're working on bringing more designs to everything because we have so many ideas actually, and we're still missing some designs that we had and some products that we had in the original store. Mugs are a big one. We're working on getting those set up, stuff like that. So
cool. I like it. It's, by the way, good quality clothing.
It's not only that,
sleeping at times.
It's ethically sourced and sustainable. Like, we're making a very conscious effort that the stuff we are selling is actually it's good for the planet. It's not just something you'll end up getting and have to toss out in 6 months. Very high quality. It is no longer print on demand. It is all made in mass and stored in a warehouse for us.
Yep. You made it, by the way. Poop jokes from that.
Yes.
Oh, you're saying that worked really well. That worked really well.
This is why I love you guys.
Talking about her circle, besides like helping us out and supporting us through the swag store, which will leave you with some awesome swag. Of course, there's also a way to support us differently, which is through Home Assistant Cloud by Nabu Casa. If you get a subscription there, you actively support the foundation as well. The money will flow back to us and allows us to do what we do here. And the people that are on stream today actually are able to work full time on your favorite project, Home Assistant, because of your contribution here. So, was that a good thing? I'm not always good at this stuff.
Yeah. I mean, that's
I
what
just
makes
try.
us great. Like,
Right? No, but
we're-
it does help us.
it helps us out. It really does. And we are awkward people making sure we actually advertise everything so you guys get good shit from us rather than, us being marketing monkeys, hitting the right beats. No, can't be us.
Yes, we have a zipper hoodie.
Yes,
in the
there
store.
is a zipper
Yes, we
hoodie.
do.
It's in dark though. It's, I think, either black or dark blue. I can't remember. It's not that beautiful tan though. That's one of the things. So if you want variety, that's what we really need to know. Oh, who's coming to Utrecht? Who's already in Utrecht? Like, I'll be there.
No,
I'm excited.
you're not in Utrecht yet, but
I am
Who's
not
coming to
there
Utrecht?
yet.
do we need to type like you? Type you in chat, just you.
Yes.
You-
Yes.
No, it's going to be excited next week, and we will have some swag there, I believe, as well. So that's going to be interesting. Definitely look forward to that. We should go back into the release, by the way. Otherwise, we might come into a time constraint here, and because we have still another person here that wants to talk and has something cool to share. It's Paul. Paul, what do you have for us today?
Dashboard, I would say.
Probably
the
UI
fir-
related.
Yeah. The first one is not from me. Like it was not originally created by me. It was done by a contributor, GP. I think in September or August release, something like that. But we have to revert it because we had some concern about the configuration, also some margin and padding. So we introduced it this release, like 6 months after, and like at every release, I receive message like, when will you work on this? But we were busy on some other stuff. So here we go. We have this for this release.
Oh, hold on. I haven't shared your screen. Do I need to share
Yeah.
something?
Yeah.
Yeah, oh.
Yeah. So this is a background. Yeah, I think it's okay like this. This is a background color for section. So that means on every section you have on your dashboard, you can now add the background and choose the color. It allows you to group thing, and like before it was difficult sometimes to see the difference between the different section and to see this is a group of cards, this is not a group of cards, and yeah. So it's really easy to configure. So if you have a section, you can now just edit the section. And now you have an option. So basically by default it's disabled, but you can just enable it. By default you have a color, you have an opacity, and then you will have this. And you can choose every color you want. So if I want blue, I want to change the opacity, and done. So yeah, that's really easy to configure. Maybe we'll add some feature. I know that some people want border and all this stuff. So yeah, maybe it will evolve. And yeah, that's just background color for section. And also talking about section, we also had a small contribution. I think it's not mentioned in the release note, but you now have the ability to duplicate a section if you want. So yeah, it was not possible before. I didn't know why we don't add this. We still don't have the possibility to copy and paste. We can add it later in this menu, but we don't have a way to paste easily a section, so that's why. But it will. I'm pretty sure it will come in the future. Frank, I think you're muted.
Oh, sorry, I was muted indeed.
Yeah.
One of the things that comes up instantly here, and a few people have been asking about it, so I'm going to drop the question immediately to like satisfy that question at least. But can the color change through an automation? Might be almost a question for Niels, actually, but
I just sort of answered it. Just please don't make me make more issues for more triggers and conditions.
For now, it's a fixed color. But we already had feedback from people that want to basically add or remove a background on a condition. For example, if you have a low battery, you want maybe to highlight it in your dashboard. So, or if you have a security issue, you want to highlight the section where there is a security device that have a problem. So, yeah, that's something we are thinking, but it's not that easy because it means like adding section to every property on card on dashboard. It will be a mess to have conditional variable for this or template, but yeah, it's not that easy to do yet. Yeah, but conditional background can be a solution. Yeah, because we already have conditional section, conditional card, so we can have a visibility option to background. It can be possible, but so you cannot choose the color, but just toggle it or not. Yeah.
Community collaboration happening right here live on the stream. This is always so cool. I like that. Ideas are being born. Next up, we will have a way to target homes, and next up, we will have the way to conditionally load backgrounds. Like this is just, I like this actually. Super cool addition here, and it looks beautiful, especially for things like temperature here. It really stands out like the section is for, and color codes it. Helps with finding quicks quickly.
And also because of the opacity, it also works well on dark mode.
Nice.
Yeah, I don't know what will be the next thing. I think it's the Gotch card, this one.
Ooh.
Yeah. This card is a legacy card. It exists for a lot of time. And for this release, we had a contribution. I think it's Cinnamon that did that, if I remember. Yeah. Basically, he redesigned the card to fit the new card design. For example, before it was a fat gauge, so now it's a thin one. It looks like the thermostat card, I think. Yeah,
someone during beta said, like, I might actually use it now. It looks pretty. I like it. I like it. I agree,
yeah, me also.
Yeah. The little needle is pretty. I like how the needle looks.
Yeah, and all the previous options are here. It's just a redesign. We didn't add any feature or remove. It's just the same as before, but with new design. I really like the needle, the new needle. Yeah.
This was contributed, by the way, by Solomon. Thank you so much for doing that. And he processed a lot of feedback during beta as well, during the beta period. And that's why it looks what it is today. I think it's so much nicer. And the general response in the chat is, by the way, also good. So that definitely a good signal.
I don't know if we have something else for dashboard, maybe.
Yeah, I think while you're on this dashboard, could you maybe add a tile card for lights? And let's talk about lights a bit, because we had some.
Oh yeah, this one. Yeah,
some
it's a big one.
real good additions. It's a big one, and this one was contributed by Carl Watts. And in case you don't know who Carl Watts is, this guy comes up a few times every other release or something. And if he pops up, you know it's a quality of life improvement you will enjoy and everybody likes. It's always something like that, and he did it again. He really did it again. This is just cool. So let's see.
Yeah. So I did tile card, and now so basically tile card is a very simple card. When you can display the state of an entity, every entity, it will automatically adapt its color, and you can set an icon. You can choose the name you want to display. There is many options for that. And for you can also add feature. And basically, features are just small widgets that you add at the bottom or on the right and left. For example, you can add a brightness slider. You can also have it inline. And this release, Carlos added favorite colors. So basically, now you can just, before you add this color here, and now you can choose to display them directly in your dashboard for a quick shortcut. Yeah. So you can see behind me, I just changed the color using just the preset. And the nice thing with that is that you can click here, edit favorite, and you can basically configure every color you want. So if I want to have red, have red here. Yeah.
But this is not all, because like if you've customized all your favorite colors for this light,
Yeah.
then the other light will not have it. And
Yeah,
this
exactly.
is
I
the
will-
other quality improvement that he came up with.
Yeah, I will show it directly here. So basically, I have this light and I have this other light. I don't know why it's not the same size. Oh, maybe because I have only
The number
few
of
color. Yeah, and basically for this one I have this color, and now we added a new option like copy favorite to, and I can just say, oh, I want to set my favorite color to this. I click copy, and it will just update. It will just sync the different color between your light. The limitation is that it should support the same color. If you have a light that only support color temperature, it will not support the color like the RGB color. But yeah, you can easily copy, and you can also reset favorite color if you want to go back to the previous default color we set. Yeah.
So nice. Thank you so much for
And
adding that, Carlos.
Yeah. And for this color, it will display the number of colors that are available. So that means if I resize my screen, it will automatically adapt the number of colors that are displayed. But you can change the size if you want. Yeah.
This is so cool. Someone asked here, recent online asked, are favorites for everyone or per user, actually?
It's for everyone. Yeah.
System wide indeed, per light, right? For every light, you can set a different set of favorites.
Yeah.
That's that.
And and I have another feature also for dashboard. That's many feature, but just small one, but just small quality of life. So you can resize your card in grid.
Mhm.
So you have the config, visibility, and layout, and you can resize the grid the way you want. And we added a new option that was already available in YAML, but was not in the UI. It's basically to adapt the height of the card to say it just ignores the grid for the height. And if you click here, it will just compact your card a little. I think for this one, for example, it's auto 8 by default. You can disable it and you can resize it the way you want. But if you want the minimal size, the compact size for your card, you just click here and it will just automatically adapt. Yeah. And it works also for a vertical stack, I think. Vertical, horizontal stack, and grid stack. It can be useful for this card because if you put many cards in a vertical stack, you don't want to resize it. So basically, you set it to auto. But for some cases, it can make sense to resize it.
That makes sense, actually. Yeah. Is that then the default, or is that something I always have to turn on?
It depends on the card. For example, for tile card, it's designed to fit well the grid. So we have a size by default, so it's 6 by 2. For example, if I remove a feature, it will be 1 by 2 as a minimal size. But I can resize it and I can set to auto. For some card, it will do anything. It will not do anything, but for some, it can be very useful. Yeah.
So when we talk about light colors, by the way, and the default in the presets, then we also have to talk about two other ones that are landing this release, especially one that I really like, which is actually it's covers. The cover answers.
Yeah.
We now have favorite positions for covers, similar as we have favorites for light colors.
Yeah.
I can actually hear it. That's cool.
Exactly. That's a window.
You can hear it go.
Next to me.
Nice.
Yeah. So yeah, you can and same as color, you can also choose the position you want. and you can also copy it to every other cover you want. Yeah.
Nice. And they're available as a feature as well, just like colors. So you can actually add them to a tile card and like have those little quick buttons, just like colors have. Are we going to show it? Okay. Even better. Feature.
And you have favorite position.
There it is.
Yeah.
That's so cool. So this is a cool addition. If you have covers in Home Assistant, you can actually now have your favorite positions of those covers quickly at hand on your dashboard, which is absolutely a really cool addition that has been added here. Thanks everybody for working on that. That's nice. It's absolutely nice.
It was very funny this release because Chaos came up with just a feature for light, and Aidan start redesigning the color to sync color to add a favorite position for cover. So yeah, we added a lot, and it's also available for Valve, I think, because Valve are mostly like cover.
Yeah, correct. Valves have them too, although it's less of a common entity in Home Assistant at this point. But if you have those, you can set favorites there as well. Cool. I think we're almost through the UI part here. There is something that happens in the UI that two things that you might be able to showcase actually, which is assist had something new if you're using LLMs. Do you have a demo for that actually, Paul?
No,
I made a screenshot.
I don't think I have demo for that.
A video or news? Do you actually? No, I don't have one. Do you have any of you got Gemini or something in as an LLM in Assist?
No, I don't. I should, but I don't.
Not at this moment.
Maybe I have it.
I had it at one point. But...
Not today. Okay, then I'm going to show it as a screenshot, if you don't mind. Let me take you out for a quick moment here, because what added this release is that we now have AI thinking visible inside of Home Assistant. So if you ask which came first, a chicken or an egg, which is a good question considering Easter is coming up, it actually, you can see this little detail blob that you can pull out to actually see what it does and what it is thinking before it answers that the egg came first. Now we all know the answer to this question, I guess. So that's really cool, and this works for LLMs, right? So you actually can see what it does, and that's super helpful.
And I think it's only for the LLMs that support syncing, right?
Yeah, it should be most of them. You have to have an LLM that supports it. B, you have it enabled for the model you're using, right? If you're using like an older Flash model, it will not have the thinking capability. Nothing will show up, as far as I understood. I don't have this running, so I don't use Gemini, and the one model I'm using didn't show up, so I had one. LLM with thinking, by the way, Hijelo says exactly. That's it. And then there's another UI thing, and I think this is actually a big one, and this has to do with locks.
Yeah.
If you're using a Matter lock, like a Nuki, for example, and I did install a Nuki recently, and I do have a Matter Nuki lock, but for love of God, I've made so many freelance and advanced network segments that I cannot get Matter to work. But we all know that struggle. If you're a little bit like me and you're ignoring all that stuff, then you struggle with that. Anyway, long story short, if you have a Nuki lock with Matter and you've successfully added to Home Assistant.
No, sorry. The Nuki locks in the US don't support it. Guess how I know.
But Paul actually is going to show something, I guess, right? Paul, you have Nuki, or what do you have?
I have a Aquara smart lock, yeah.
Let's pull you up then here, because Paul does have.
Yeah.
Oh, an Aquara smart lock. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
That works too.
Yeah. So you can go here and you have a new item here, manage lock. And on this screen, you can just choose to add credential for user. For example, if I want to add a guest, 1, 2, 3, 4, and you click add, basically it will add just a code for the new user, and I think you can also automate on this, right? Because I think we also have services. So yeah.
Yep, we do. Apparently, it doesn't work with Nukilock. Somebody else reports too. Sorry, I was misinformed. I assumed that every Matterlock would support this, but
Oh yeah, no. Matthias found out, and he's actually trying to gather some information on what the get info action was for people in the developer tools to figure out what it looks like for each one. So I do believe we're trying to put together an effort of either listing which ones it works with, or making sure our partners in the Works with Home Assistant program have this enabled for the locks that are supported in the program.
But
Okay.
does this work for a lock that doesn't have a keypad on it? Or should it work for
That's
those
the
I
problem
think
with the Nuki
Mm.
one. So the keypad is a separate thing. It's not
Oh,
part
yeah, okay.
of the lock.
oh,
It's
Yeah.
a Bluetooth connection. So you need to actually be within Bluetooth range to use the keypad on the lock. And that seems to be where the problem is for it. So yeah, it was not fun finding that out during beta
Because
week.
So
I have a
basically you
Nuki
can-
lock, but I don't have a keypad. And I was wondering what would happen if I set a PIN code, and then would the button on the door, the lock, still open it, or
Yeah. So yeah, you have a service get lock info, and you can have info about your lock, and it's a matter specification. And for example, for mine, I can have just up to 15 user in it, and it support PIN and RFID. I think for now we only support PIN in the UI, but maybe RFID will come. But yeah, it's a matter specification, so every log that comply to this specification in Matter should work. Yeah.
awesome. Oh, we keep adding stuff this release, to be fair. It is quite a hefty release, a lot of features to add this cycle. I think we have gone through most of the things, by the way. We do have some other little highlights we can go through. Maybe we should do. Should we dive into like the new integrations maybe this release? Because we have quite a few. Were there some questions left? No, there are not. Okay. Let's dive into whatever else we have in this release, because this release is not just packed with new features, it's also packed with a ton of new integrations in here. I wonder if there are any ones that stand out to any of you, but for me, infrared we've talked about, right? This one stands out, including the LG integration, to be fair. I like chess.com. Joost has been on
I think
it.
we have two integration about chess. We have also
We do.
light chess.
Yeah, here it's Licious. Licious.
Missions, yeah.
Oh, chess statistics. Nice.
Yeah, they were battling it out in the beta channel over the weekend. It was very funny talking about it's one of the nerdiest things that I think we've actually put in. We got Doom running in Home Assistant, but this is nerdier.
That's definitely true. Well, chess.com is cool, and I'm not sure why it's at it. Maybe you'll start like learning chess, or maybe he was, I don't know, challenged, or I have no clue what it triggered, but it's nice to see that stuff like that lands, right? That's really cool. Don't know what to say otherwise. LoJack landed here, which is a GPS tracker for vehicles, which is nice. Open Display. I really want to highlight Open Display. If you are into e-ink screens, Open Display is now supported, which is more of a universal driver for e-ink displays. I hope I explained this really right, by the way. I'm not that deep into e-ink displays. But if your e-ink display supports the Open Display protocol and it's now natively supported from Home Assistant, then you can actually send out things that it needs to display, like images, if I understood right. We hope, probably, this spoiler alert, maybe next release party or someone later, We aim to get Jonas from Open Display to be on stream to talk about this, including Paulus, who has been working with this as well. So this is something you have to take a rain check for. But yes, we're going to talk about it because as far as what I've seen, it's really, really, really cool. Furthermore,
we also have terminals, terminal, yeah, open e-paper
terminal
display also, yeah.
Also added by Joost, and I believe this is also built on the same tech stack of Open Display, if I understood it right.
I think so, yeah.
Really cool addition. Unify Access has been added here, and WIM. WIM is nice to see that they added that. I'm looking forward to what's going to happen there. It might as well be related to something that it might support we're going to show on Soto. I explained Open Display correctly and will be on Discord later for any questions. Look at that. Thank you, Jonas. Looking forward to seeing all of that once we have a future stream with a little bit more time dedicated to this. Thank you for all the contributions, by the way. Noteworthy improvements to existing integrations. Something to talk about. SmartThings has received lots of updates. It has been going strong lately, and there's a massive amount of stuff added there. Roborock users can now use the Q10 vacuum cleaner. Very cool.
What? That's huge, actually. Like, it was something that people have been, it's one of the ones that wasn't actually supported. You had to use, what's the one that no one likes using right now? The integration that everyone is mad about. No, it's the, that's big. That's one of the few non-supported vacuums, and getting that in there is huge.
Well, it landed this release, so if you have one, use it. OpenAI, ChatGPT 5.4 is there, including the Pro model. I would use personally a little bit of older model. Generally, it's faster. Depends a little bit on what you want to use it for, right? But if you use it for voice, I'm not sure if that model is to use. But if you want to use it, it's there for your use case. A bunch of other things. Proxmox V is showing up constantly lately. I'm very happy with the work everyone is doing there, especially considering a lot of people in the community run Home Assistant using Proxmox. It's nice to see him being supported and really being picked up as it is right now. Then Portainer, also from Erwin, same thing. He's been showing up lately a lot on those. Thank you so much. Spring is coming. This also means summer if you're a gardener, and I apparently am becoming one because all of a sudden I haven't gardened now, so I need to develop some green thumbs. But you get the Gardena Bluetooth devices expanded with 2 product lines here right in time for summer and spring and summer. All right, I think those are the ones to highlight. Maybe you can go through the list. As you can see, it's on our website and in the release notes blog. We have a bunch of integrations that bump the integration quality scale here, which is quite the achievement, right, Abilio? You're very well aware of the core parts of this and what it takes. It's quite a thing.
It's quite nice that we have contributors actually doing that. It's really good.
It's good to see O-Power for once in a different list, and now in the quality raised to platinum instead of like adding a new feature or integration as it has been for months. But nice to see it actually reach some quality here. Portainer now also reached platinum. Super nice, and a few others. Want to highlight is in gold is Ghost. It's by the Ghost block system, the CMS and block, which is actually authored by the owner of Ghost himself, which is absolutely stunning. We use it for our newsletter, and if you haven't subscribed to it yet, you should.
Yeah, and actually, that's a really good one to call out for it increasing, because didn't it just come in as bronze last month?
Yes.
Like, that's wild. And he just came through and made it reach gold. Like, it's seeing the commitment to putting something in not only at the baseline, but then working to get to that platinum level already. Love it.
Super nice. It's nice to see a large list in general here. So everybody who's in this list, congratulations and thank you so much for what you're doing. It's absolutely lovely to see the quality of whole Home Assistant being pumped up with this. All right, we have a new integration coming through the UI, two actually, Leviton Decora and Orfebio, if I'm pronouncing it right. Anyhow, if you use those two, you will now have full control through UI. Super nice to still see that process happening. We have to say goodbye to a few integrations, which is not the fun part of this, but BMW, Duke Energy, and TVIAC has been removed. BMW and Duke Energy, basically, we have no ability anymore to use their APIs, which is the services where you're talking to on the internet to get all the data in. It's pointless at this point if it's not accessible to us anymore, and they close it down in such a way that we cannot use it, then that's the end of story. We cannot do much about that. TVIAC has been removed because it was actually disabled since 2024, and nobody noticed it ever since then. Nobody complained. It like lingered around in our code base, and we cleaned it up this cycle. So that's kind of nice to be removed. Nobody should be affected. Nevertheless, it's nice to mention at least what we did. Some other noteworthy changes. If you remember in last release, we talked about vacuum cleaners and how you can assign the segments that you create in your vacuum cleaner, like your Roborock, to areas in Home Assistant, and then do automations to clean like the kitchen area, which is super nice. It landed in voice. So you can actually talk to Assist and say like, hey, clean the kitchen area, which is super nice. Thank you so much for that. Backups have upload progress, so if you're wondering why it takes so long, you can actually see how far it is in, which is super nice. A lot of integrations actually added support for that too this cycle, which makes it nice and complete. Markdown cards now support actions, so you can click on them and define what they do. Please note that if you do that, the actual links on such a markdown card will probably not work anymore at that point, but still it's nice. We have some map card improvements, and we have two new template functions, state translators or attribute translated, which allows you to get translated attribute state into, for example, your notifications. And we have entity underscore name, which gives you the raw name of an entity without like the whole device name and stuff in it. This will be more important later down the line, but if you're looking for getting just the name of the entity itself, this is the function to use rather than friendly name. Last but not least, we have search in the network featureization. Do we? Oh, that's so cool. Did you do that a bit?
What?
Yes,
No way.
No, we have.
Can you show that?
I think so. Let me make sure it works. Yeah.
make sure it works. It's a live demo. Where are you? Are you sharing?
No, just a second.
No, that's kind of a requirement, man.
But just a little bit.
Yes.
Just gotta imagine it.
Imagine him
It
sharing
works.
a screen.
Trust me, bro.
Okay. Did I share the? Yes, I shared the correct window. So
Yay.
yeah. Now we can go here and find the driveway lights without having to go around and look for them. If you remove
Oh,
it,
that's great.
back to normal.
You have such a good network for this example too, because you have like 400 devices, entities that are actually there. If we showed mine, it'd be like 12. Like, why are you searching with me?
Yeah, no, now you know why I added this. I was trying to find why, I think it was this gate thing was malfunctioning. I was trying to understand what it was connecting to on the mesh. And it was really annoying. I have to go here and look that, trying to find it in the middle of everything. So I said, no, we need this.
It's so good.
That's really nice. Cool addition. There we go. Like even the little noteworthy changes here are actually maybe even bigger things than they appear to be. That's nice. I might use that once I got my network fully up and running. We do have a oh God, I'm fighting my network. I cannot tell you, but I've just make it too complex, I guess. Eventually, anyways. We do have something else to talk about this release, which is something new that we never have listed before. But in terms of transparency, we're going to regularly add things that we disclose as security issues. And this month we had 3 reports that we sent out to you, 3 disclosed security advisories that we've put out. For transparency, they're here. They're always listed on our security page. If you go there, you will see a list of all the past advisories that we have put out. Just know that if we publish an advisory, we often already have put out the fix before that, so everybody has time to upgrade and kind of close this. But we want to have full transparency. You can read all about them in here. This is why it is important to keep your Home Assistant installation up to date, and that's really important. So here it is. It's just for you to look at. It's nothing to be very scared about. Really, security things are a regular happening thing, and we want to make it also as normal as possible and be as transparent as possible about it. So I hope you can actually appreciate that. All the details are in here, so feel free to look at them and get some glints in there. It's often very technical, by the way. I see some people already reacting to this critical one. You can read all about it in the actual advisory. This one is fully closed, by the way, so you shouldn't be affected at all anymore at this point. Talking about security, I'm going to make the segue because we did this month publish a blog, or this week actually, last week publish a blog about modernizing encryption of Home Assistant backups. And what we have done, and it's actually in this release, is that we improve the way Home Assistant backups are encrypted. We use a library for this, a technology that we've developed. It's called Secure Tar. That's the way of packaging it and then encrypt your backup. And we have been informed that we could do it better. It could be encrypted better. And it doesn't mean that what we had was bad. Absolutely not. We've estimated it would take over a lifetime to actually hack or brute force the previous backup version we have, but we have improved the encryption here. And to ensure the encryption for backups, because it's important, is up to par. We actually have asked Trail of Bits, which is a very leading good security engineering firm, by the way, to actually security audit our whole backup process, our Secure Tar, and they have guided us to make sure it is top-notch, absolutely top-notch. So as of this release, that we will use a v3 of the Secure Tar that actually follows best-in-class encryption, to be fair. You can read all about it in this blog. It's published, including all the reports and everything that came to be. And we take this stuff just very seriously and want to be, again, just like our security things, as transparent as we can be. We do this for you. We want to ensure your data is safe and that we can all just rely on the fact that our data is ours and nobody else's, right? That's what we do. All right. That little segue. Do we have more? Yes, we do. We have a few backwards incompatible changes left. There are not many big ones in here this month, to be fair. Feel free to take a look and go over them. There are some little things in here, like Z-Wave. We used to have some kind of installer panel somewhere hidden in Home Assistant. That thing is being removed because we now have the Z-Wave GS UI fully available inside Home Assistant. If you want to, you can enable it on the app, and then you can access that instead, which will give you like the whole Z-Wave world you like. And some other small bits like MQTT removed Object ID, which would have nudged you for 6 months already, if all correct. If not, then you missed that, then at least you know what's going on. Go through them, make sure you read them if any of the integrations you're using is listed here. And that actually sums up most, basically everything, I think, of this release.
Can I round this out with a bump we had during this beta?
A bump?
A bump in the road.
A bump.
A bump in the road. It's actually kind of called out in chat. They wanted to praise us for listening to feedback about it. So when we first rolled out beta last week, we actually rolled out an update for change to the entity names that, let's say it didn't go over well. And so there was a lot of feedback overall. Some people were very rightly pointing out we didn't communicate it well enough. There were some misconceptions that happened with the communication overall. But there were some things we found while people were testing for us that we didn't expect, and we want to make it a little bit smoother, right, Frank?
It is, and like we are still on the right path. We've been working on fixing naming and context in Home Assistant since 2022. We've actually seen quite a bunch of these today in the live stream as well, when Niels presented the target picker and being able to go to labels and scroll through things, and you actually see where all the entities are coming from and where they are from and what device provides them and whatnot. This is all part of the project of making the whole structure of naming happening, like having floors have a name, devices have their name, entities have their name, everything has its own name, and the context around it makes it like happen. If I know it's a temperature sensor in my living room provided by that multi-sensor, I do know what it is, right? And even though everything has its own little bit, it still is there. So we are working on making that structure more natural and unified and more predictable, because it can behave a little bit weird considering our history. We never had anything like that when Home Assistant started out. The only thing we had was entities. And we're still carrying a part of that history and sometimes nags with us. And we're trying to fix that. And we have been on fixing that for over 4 years. It's a huge undertaking. Every single entity in Home Assistant and every single integration needed to be adjusted for this. That's why it took that long. And we're at the verge of switching over fully. We've switched over a lot without you noticing over the past years. But we're not finished. And for the last little bit, there is a chance that some of the names that show up in UI might not always be the one you've expected. And that's the thing that we have tried to ship in beta. It turns out there are a few cases that we actually could have prevented. We're going to look into how we can fix that and how we can help, for example, custom card developers to give a better experience and make it work better. I know Paul is actually going to look into that. And then we're trying to do it a second time, right? But the feedback during beta was loud and clear. We've looked at it. There were definitely some valid use cases where we should look at. And besides that, the whole messaging, we've spent a lot of time on the messaging. And it clearly showed that it wasn't enough. Like, there were many questions that came out those messages that we had in the beta release notes that people didn't understand. It's something that we need to improve. So we took all of that questions, all of that comments to heart. I've made the decision to pull it out of the current beta because we should just step back and not try to make a quick fix. Nobody gets better from a quick fix. Let's just take a step back and try to do better next time. And this is part of why beta testing is important. If you're looking forward to try beta once, it's pretty easy to do and it's pretty safe. It's also pretty fun in general to be in our beta channel. So the last Wednesday of the month, we will start beta. Go to the beta channel on our Discord and join in this fun and try it out. And we're looking for feedback every single time. And it helps us shipping the right thing and prevents us shipping the wrong thing.
Yep.
I hope I explained it well. It's a hard subject.
If you didn't, they'll figure it out in the future when we explain it again.
Right? Yes.
We'll try again, guys. And seriously, thank you for all of the feedback that came through and for being loud enough that it made us turn things around a little bit. It's just postponed, so it's still going to come, but all of the feedback did make us kind of take a step back and go, okay, wait, shit.
We have no rush.
Let's try again.
We're not backed by VC money that forces us to deliver. We're in a foundation, and please support us by buying some swag and merch, or maybe subscribe to Home Assistant Club and our castle, because that's true, right? We only have to serve you, and if it's something is not right, we have the ability to pull it because we have no delivery in that regard from a VC. And I think that's important. We're not big tech. We are different, and that's beautiful. And we should use that quality.
Can you actually explain really quick why it can't be a labs feature? Because we've explained this in a couple different places, and it gets asked a couple times still. Because why can't it be a labs feature?
It could technically, essentially everything could be a labs feature, because if you look at it from a very like low level, simple approach perspective, a lab item is just a toggle, and a toggle could as well be a light, right? So it can be anything really. But the goal behind labs is to test upcoming features and things that are incomplete that we want to design yet at this point and get feedback on in the process. This is something that already has been going on since 2022, which we're not really looking for steering or changing. We already know what we want to do and what we want to achieve. And our goal is to ship it, not to iterate on it, because there's not much to iterate on it. There's stuff to test on, and that's what beta is about, right? Beta is about testing if it works, and stability testing, and ensure everything works as expected. This didn't work as expected and could essentially be seen as a bug, because we actually intended it as a different behavior. Just to describe, it's not as easy as that, but I think this kind of captures it pretty well. While we're looking at purpose-specific automations and triggers, there are hundreds of them coming in, and they have so many of them that will take us months. We're already 4 months in right now building those things. It will take time to iterate, and there are many tweaks that we need to make along the way and use cases we need to learn about. So that's very much of a different interaction going on there, and a very different purpose. If you want to learn more about Home Assistant Labs, by the way, you should tune in to the SOTO next week at the State of the Open Home next week. Now I'm already spoiling too much, I guess. But yeah, we're going to talk about things like that definitely during SOTO.
Yep, absolutely.
Niels, it's your first time here. How was it?
I thought it was great, super fun,
Yeah.
really insightful to get some people's feedback in the chat as well. Yeah, just all in all, great fun. Would love to come back.
You should.
Good.
It was fun too. Yeah. Video?
You are doing some big things, guys. Like
Oh, you are.
Niels, you should come back for sure.
Happy to, love to. Absolutely, super fun.
Video, how was your first time being
I
here?
fully agree. It was great. It was fun. Much
It was awesome.
lighter than I was feeling before coming here. So it was quite fun.
Feels scary the first time, huh? Yeah, but it's
Yes.
it is fun here.
We have a lot of people seeing. But it's quite nice.
Absolutely. Thank you so much both for being here. Paul, you're a regular at this point, but also thank you
Yes.
so much for being here. It's very much appreciated, and everything you do and what all you guys doing every month. Niels, I'm looking very much forward to getting the automation stuff completed. I am an automation guy in terms of smart home, so I am stoked about everything that's coming down that line. And Missy, as always, thank you for being the head of shit posting even online here during streams.
Always. I have to
Yeah.
do it. Otherwise, how else do we keep you laughing? Like
Yeah. Definitely true. For everybody looking at this live stream, if you want to see more and talk to us, and like some of us, I'm not sure if everybody's going there, but after the live stream, we go into our Discord. On Discord, you find a community stage. We will be there. You can be there. You can hop on stage. We often spoil things there that are common and have some general chat about basically everything that people think about. It could be anything. Maybe you like to ask Niels about like some weird trigger that's coming down the line, or some examples or things that you didn't have the opportunity to ask for. Or maybe you have a burning question for Paul for building something new into Mushroom. I don't know. Anything can go there. So please join us there. And with that, I think we can close this one out for this month. Please tune in next month. Or tune in next month, but tune in next week for the State of the Open Home. And all that's left, I think, is to wish everybody happy Easter.
yeah. Have a good one, guys.
Bye-bye.